We can, because it sounds pretty good.
You know what? I want to know something.
What do you want to know?
Ghost, why is it that you always want to know something?
Why this right here is wearing regular headsets and you made me wear a fucking Dodgers headset, bro?
That was on purpose.
You guys are assholes.
Today's episode is sponsored by Del Real Mexican tradition for the modern life. Dang.
What are they?
You guys you'll thank me later. It's tamales.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Why are you fucking up my intro?
I'm trying to make it like you, that's why.
Nah. What's up, everybody? This is Raza the Barber.
And your boy Stacks.
Zach.
Whatever.
Stacks. All right. So today what we're doing is we are going live on Instagram Live to answer some questions. Hopefully we get some good ones.
Yeah.
We're going to do somewhat of an intro, and then we're going to get our guest in a bit. He's doing his back-to-school haircuts.
Yeah.
And
which we talked about in the last episode. It's that time of the year.
yeah, you actually showed me your haircuts.
I did. Dude, I told you. I had the flat top all through elementary school and
I didn't see a flat top, though. I did see all the gel.
Well, it was spiked. That's why it wasn't just like a military flat top. It was just like maybe like an 8 on the top and just straight.
I don't know.
Straight
To
up.
me, it seemed like it was a bootleg. Like it just looked like they just put a 2 on the top and then let the sides grow with the fenders.
Possibly.
And you just put gel on it.
Yeah.
All right. So we have any questions? So hopefully,
shout out to KMS.
no,
We're gonna get sponsored by KMS. I'm putting it out there.
one day
One day.
or White Claw.
One of the two. We can get sponsored by 2 people. That'd be cool.
However that works.
Yeah.
So let's make that happen. So I don't see any questions yet, but again, so what we're going to be doing is recording, and we're going to be using a couple cameras, and this is going to be the first time us doing this. And
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to our boy Roy, who's in the building. We have our camera setup.
yeah, it says Rocky. Yeah, change the angle, please. So I don't know how you'd be able to change it. Would you be able to go this way?
Let's experiment, bro.
We're gonna do that.
So I think because you don't have the wrist, the arm thing.
Oh,
You already know, bro.
Let's see.
let's see if that works. Hopefully that works.
Rocky, let us know if it works, Rocky.
So big shout out to Rocky. He has his own podcast, Street Scholars, and if you guys have time, I believe they are on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Rocky, thanks. You just can't see Zach though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's cool?
I'm happy with that.
I'll put on Raza.
There you go.
No, you can just put it.
This is your thing, bro.
You could put it. I don't know. What do you mean? It's my thing. It's our thing.
Whatever. Hey, so yeah, back to our shout out. So I want to shout out Roy. He's here putting in his time and effort with us, doing our film and stuff. So we have a YouTube channel. You could look for us and subscribe to YouTube if you want to see the video content from our podcast of us recording and all the other shenanigans that we get into. The channel is just the Grindstone Collective. You could look it up, search it.
Yeah.
As soon as we start getting more episodes in, we'll have more
Content.
for that. And so Roy's making that all possible. So subscribe to the YouTube, get us on there, share us, and
All that. I don't know.
Show
Like I
us some
said,
love.
my biggest thing was just getting our voices on the air. You wanted to do video. You wanted to get that going. So
yeah.
so it sounds pretty good. I still don't see no questions. So once we start getting these questions in, and once
Rocky's
we
being go sideways again.
start,
Nah, not my G. Sorry.
because I don't think Zach wants to be listened or be watched. Even though, how about you sit right here?
Nah.
Sit on my lap.
Hey, your wife's watching, bro.
Hey, wife. I just saw that too.
Can't get you in trouble.
What do you mean?
I don't want to be on your knee.
Oh, she doesn't mind. Well, but those back to school haircuts that maybe he's gonna have a little bit more content behind that, or a little bit more context, just so that he's been actually in the shop getting it done.
Yeah. I was at an event yesterday at the Orange County Rescue Mission, and so all of what the Orange County Rescue Mission is, it's like a transitioning shelter for those that are coming out of like homelessness or different situations, and so they house like single adults and families and single parents and stuff like that. So all the parents were bringing their kids yesterday to get haircuts,
Yeah.
and it was cool because they all felt good about themselves going back with a new haircut. But even in the shelter, it's the same as in the shop.
What do you mean? They ask for certain haircuts?
Yeah, like certain haircuts, and the moms are super like
Picky?
peculiar. Yeah, like
Peculiar.
Mhm.
That's a nice word.
and I just thought it was funny. I was like, dude, like it doesn't matter where you go, like moms are gonna be like, no, like why doesn't this look faded? Like they're still. Can you blend that in more when you're not even done?
And what do you say to that?
I just like I'm not done yet, so it's gonna get blended.
Were you actually cutting hair, or was it the?
There was one mom that so yesterday I had 4 girls with me. 2 of them were Barber students, and the other 2 were Cosmo students. And
I know you read that. When the street lights are on, get home.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, wife.
So the mom was like, she just saw 4 girls in there, and she's like, oh, I want a barber to cut my son's hair.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, this is they're barbers, they're they're good. And she was like, no. And the son was like, I want you to cut my hair, like not knowing that like if I'm good or not. Just like, I want you.
I want the big guy to cut my hair.
He didn't say that, but he just said, I want that guy. And so
I feel like
I felt bad for the students. So I said, oh, I'll just use your stuff. And so I used the student stuff, and I gave him a haircut. And so I sat him in the little booster seat, and he whips out a page printout, colorized, not just like black and white. Like it was a colored print of haircuts. So he had like
pictures.
It was one page, but it had like his mom took a screenshot of like her Pinterest board, and like used that as a reference of what.
Oh, that's nuts.
So he was like, I want this haircut. I said, are you going to comb your hair every day? He goes, no. So I said, you're looking at the fade, then you're not looking at the hair, at the actual hairstyle.
Yeah.
And so I cut his hair, and his mom was like pretty chill with it. But I was like, dude, I'm not even in the shop, and I'm still like, the mom is still like on our back. Like, no.
Yeah, Rocky's saying that fact. The cheapest clients are the pickiest, which it does make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, even though that was a mission and you were doing,
Yeah.
it was free work and stuff like that. I think when you're in the shop, a lot of the pickiest ones are the ones that don't give you a tip at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like you said, sometimes, and again, we can differentiate the differences between you doing, like the mission work and stuff like that, and then being in the shop. But again, that being in the shop. Guys come in and they start asking for certain haircuts, or they start doing saying a bunch of stuff, and then at the end of it, if you're charging $18, they'll give you $18 at the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the hell? What psycho has $18? Like a $10 bill, a $5 bill, and another $3.
Yeah.
You do?
No, I've had guys come in that had like $10, like a $10 bill, and then they had quarters, nickels, and dimes, and they're like, this is all I have.
You've gotten paid by
coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I have too, but
we took it because the shop owner was like, that's fine, I'll just use the quarters when I go do towels.
Yeah. See, again, Rocky, my guy Rocky over here, higher the price and you filter out the ghetto drama clients.
I think to an extent that's like that works, but it also, I think, if it plays off the demographic.
Yeah, where you're at.
Yeah, where you're at, what location you're at. If you're in a location that's filled with like ghetto drama clientele, like that's all. Who's like the higher you go, the less clientele is gonna come in.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on who your preference is and who your clientele is.
I agree with Rocky. Then
it makes a big. It does make, like, I know that if we're gonna be charging $35 or $30 for a haircut. Again, that high schooler isn't going to come in, or their parents aren't going to want to pay $30 for their kid's haircut. So we'll be getting those guys that are okay with spending that money or putting out that cash to, because again, it all goes back to the fashion style or how people carry themselves with their haircuts.
Yeah.
I think Lecha had said it, like he wants the guys that like want the Gucci, or they want like that high end.
Yeah.
So those are that's how it's gonna filter, because then you get the guys that want the FUBU or the nickel frit haircuts, just like we always say.
It's funny too, because I saw a lot of guys that came into the shop that, like they were super picky about their hair.
Yeah.
But then I said, "Well, do you comb your hair? Like, do you style your hair? Like, do you take time to do that?" They're like, "Majority of the time, I just wear a hat." I'm like, then let me just buzz your head off. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you're making me do all this work just so you can wear a hat every single day until you get another haircut.
Yeah, and then you get those guys, like I said, like earlier when you gave me a haircut, you thought I was gonna put my hat on, huh?
No.
Yeah, you did. I heard you say it
No,
when
that
I was walking
Fern.
away.
Fern said that.
Nah, you said
Fern
it.
said that.
No, that came from. I heard you say it.
I didn't. I didn't even see you walk away.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, were you going to a wedding today?
Why?
You had your wedding shoes on.
To make it clear,
Hey, show the people live right now what shoes you're wearing right now.
you want to see the shoes I'm wearing? Hold on, give me a second.
Shout out to Birkenstock.
I mean, I gotta do this.
You got it. Let's
Hold
see.
on, I'll pick them up. Oh, I can barely do this. Where are we at?
There we go. Let's see.
Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if it shows. But I mean, these are comfortable.
Are those Crocs?
No, you just said it. They're Birkenstocks.
Oh my! I was right,
Yeah, and I'm wearing them with socks.
bro.
I'm comfortable right now. You know what I mean?
You're just not wearing a kimono.
I'm chill. You know what I mean? I'm wearing a kimono. Anybody have any more questions? I know there's a few guys more on here. If you have any questions or if you have anything to say, Shark 76er Gramps, this guy.
Desert Storm, Desert Storm, the barber.
He's wearing army boots.
My guy put on army boots and an apron today. He said, "I'm killing it." Shout out to Sharky.
He didn't know whether to go to war or go to a barbecue. This says swag. No. I think I broke Zach. Get his ass on that thing. Why? What? What do you think about the barbers acting like they're famous rapper these days? Oh man,
The barbers that are acting like famous rappers putting out whack products or what?
I think it goes back into what you were saying last a few episodes back. When we look at certain not demographic, let's say just eras, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the guys that, like, let's go back to like Wu-Tang, right?
Mm-hmm.
How they had to sell tapes, they had to do the grind, they had to do the footwork, right? They were selling out of their trunks, they were doing all that so a bigger audience can hear, right? Because it wasn't hand in hand, or it wasn't just getting streamed. Now everything's getting streamed, so just anybody can make music, put it in the right hands or put it on the right video, and it can do things. So we call them SoundCloud barbers.
Yeah, those are the whack.
I know you want to say something. Say it.
I can't, bro. I don't want to piss anybody off today.
What do you mean you're going to piss anybody off? Isn't that the reason why we made this?
Yeah, I'm not about that instant, like,
The microwave era.
yeah. It's dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's all they know. We grew up, well, at least I did. I don't know. I grew up in an era where when I was growing up, we didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Thus far, I think it was maybe.
And you didn't have electricity, so to do haircuts with no electricity, that was rough, huh?
Hold on. Why do people take vids of their cut, push their client head so aggressively? We actually have an answer to that. Hold on. Let me get an answer. Let me see if I can get someone on the phone in this thing here. But you can continue to do that. What are you talking about? The rappers, barber rappers.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. I think the whole barber tour, the whole barber Grammys, I think all that stuff, if that floats your boat, cool. But I'm here to tell you that there is no secret pill to being in this industry. The secret pill is you just work, stay behind the chair, cut hair, put hair on the floor, and do that. Don't be the guy that's,
Yeah, and then now I mean, I'm not gonna skip Ghost. I'm not gonna skip your question, but I'm gonna go to Sharky 76er. He says, Sharky 76er says, "What about barbers copying other barbers and cutting their pants into high waters?" So I don't know if that's towards you.
Mark's asking that question. Hey, Mark, listen here. All right,
Oh, get
listen
him.
listen here, Mark.
Get him.
Hey, you're a good guy. All right. If I wanted the Walmart version of Fern, I'd go to you. Okay. All right. Don't come at me with those Desert Storm boots and an apron with those square glasses today.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, Sharky, you know, we still good. You know what I mean? We out here. My guy ready for war. You know what I mean? Or what about barbers who can't cut but act like they can?
I think that goes back to the whole
The SoundCloud thing.
SoundCloud rappers, yeah.
I mean, I think it's
SoundCloud barbers.
I just think that it's. I mean, I like that they have confidence in themselves. I think that confidence is dope because I mean, you have to have confidence to do things. But I guess it's one of those things where a lot of these guys that are doing the SoundCloud or like what we're perceiving them as, they don't have the work ethic behind it, or they don't have that they just want the clout, right?
Chasing clout.
Sergeant Slaughter, knuckle game. See, now we're getting somewhere. Now ask some questions. I'm gonna go back into.
I just want to know why Mark is asking questions on here. Shouldn't he be working? Shouldn't you be on the floor?
Shit. Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me
Love
see
you,
if I can
Mark.
do this.
You're the man.
Hold on. Can we share this?
I don't know. You can share it to everybody.
I know, but what I'm saying is that can we good talk killing guys? Yeah, for sure. Sharky.
You're the man. Shout out to Sharky who has this shop out in Montebello. If you're out in that area, go check him out.
Yeah, and like I said before, we were recording out of at a spot, and then he ended up renovating it. And again, thank you for letting us use your spot for that a lot of time.
It looks super cool. You did a good job.
I'm gonna get my poster back though. Just gonna go ahead and tell you that. Hold on. Let me see if I could get my guy. Hold on, really quick. How do we make this to where we can share it, or do we have to join?
Someone could join.
Who wants to? I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to join, but
yeah.
Hold on. Let me do this really quick, Daniel.
So back to, I think we missed Ghost.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if I could get someone on here. But yeah, that question was being aggressive, right?
Hey. What's up?
What's up, Daniel?
Hey.
What's going on, Dub?
Damn, dude, you're back from tour?
No,
Back from tour? Finally paid your Cricket wireless bill?
We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that. Hey, so I just wanted to ask, because somebody asked us on here, it says, why do people take a vid of their cut and push their client head so aggressively? What do we call that?
That's the motherfucking taco neck, dude.
That's the taco neck?
Yeah, dude. The neck breaker, dude. It's the assault of the client with the taco neck.
It's the taco neck?
You got to make sure that fade looks good only from one direction.
Oh, so the haircut can only look good in one direction, not on every direction.
Well, yeah. You ever seen any of those haircuts in any other direction other than the cockeyed sideways I'm eating a taco?
So Ghost, because I don't know if they can't hear you though, because we have it on here. We have it on live. But what he's saying is, what Dub is saying is that is the taco neck. So basically the only way you're able to eat your taco is by putting it this way and then having it to the side.
How?
Right? Oh, you got me.
Exactly.
You got me. All right, Dub. Hey, so we're gonna get you in here. Let's get you in here as soon as we can.
Yeah, dude. Let's figure it out. I'll rap with you after you guys are done shooting, and then we'll figure it out.
Sounds good. All right, brother. Love you.
All right, brother. Later, Stacks.
Later, bro.
Peace.
So Rocky has a question. He said, if you had to guess, what would the percentage of barbers you know in the industry who cut without a license? Oh man.
I mean, remember, I think we've already talked. We did answer that before. And I think before we call them barbers, we would call them, this is their hobby.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's if they're not taking it serious to actually go get those 1,500 hours, then to them it's they're just going to cut hair and it's a hobby. It's not their way of living. It might be, but if you don't have that license, then you're not a barber, straight up. I mean, that's the way I see it, and that's the way I did my 1,500 hours. You did
I
yours.
did mine.
So I think that makes a bigger difference. What do you think?
You know what I saw this week, and this is something that really triggered me.
What triggered you?
I saw an unlicensed barber, and I think you know him. He has his own I don't even know what to call it. I wish I could look it up. But it's like a collective. Like he's not a licensed barber, and now he has like a collective where he's like trying to go on tour and he's trying to do education and stuff. Like for me, I was like, nah, heck no.
Oh wait, that's too much.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff going on. Go ahead. Yeah, so he's doing tours and then he's doing education.
Yeah.
So,
But he's not licensed.
so how are you going to get anything from that? How would you get anything from someone that is not licensed or didn't get licensed in that point? Like how do people know that?
Nope.
No. So I mean, it does suck because for those again that have been working their asses off and making sure that they get their answer, their answer. I'm over here I'm trying to get back on this. Being an educator means a lot. I think it's been thrown around very loosely, and I think you just have to, it all comes with work and it all comes with time.
Yeah.
Right. But for those that are cutting out without a license, again, for you, do what you got to do. I know you have to do whatever it is, but get that license. Any other questions? Do you see anything else?
Let's just said it's all about experience.
As in for educator or being without a license?
I guess.
I don't get it. Where is it at? Just saying. I know a few barbers. Karen Paul Mitchell without licenses, and they more than once though. And they went more than once though. I know a few barbers you have. So as in, that I don't know then.
Yeah. Put their name out there.
Why do you have your volume on?
I don't have my volume on.
Oh, I do. Sorry. Okay, so that was the question. Right? I know a few people. So I don't know why it took away from everything else. I can't see any of the other questions. But what was Lecha's question?
He just said experience.
As in for
the license. Like, we had this talk the other day where he was like the license is just a piece of paper, and if you want to cut hair,
you can cut hair.
You can cut hair.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's something.
But I told him I'm not gonna. You have to have a license. Like that piece of paper means that you put in the work.
Yeah.
That you put in, the hours, and you took the test. I mean, they're talking about.
I think he's saying people can learn from the experience from the person or from the.
So people that are, I'm assuming without a license, but they're cutting behind a chair, they're gaining that experience, but they don't necessarily need the paper to gain that experience.
I mean, I get that. I mean, I get the fact that a lot of guys go before. So I know a lot of guys that go to barber school, they've already been cutting in a shop, and then they go back in to get their license. But I think it's getting your license and getting that piece of paper that we're talking about, And yes, it's not just a piece of paper; it's your fucking license. It's just like that little card that you have in your wallet. Does it mean anything? Your license to be able to fucking drive?
No.
It doesn't mean anything?
Yeah, it means everything.
Yeah, because if you get pulled over, that means you get a fucking ticket. It's the same thing if State Board gets into your shop, you get a ticket. It's going to be like Oprah in there, You get a ticket, you get a ticket, you get a ticket, and you get a ticket. So how you base your foundation of your barbershop. So again, that just all matters about who and what kind of barbershop you have. So I feel like it does.
That's a great question, though.
It is a good question.
Licensing. So thank you, Leche. You're the man.
Is there anything else? I don't know.
It teaches sanitation and client protection, which is very important. There's a lot of dirty barbers out there.
No, and that does make sense, but it's just like, I mean, it goes back into even getting your motorcycle license.
Yeah.
Right. People don't think that they need to get it. They already have their driver's license, but you go back to just like he's saying, the sanitation is you go to motorcycle school to be able to show or know how to lay down a bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just those complementary things, but at the end of it, you need to have a license. That's the way I see it.
Sassy Styles by Sarah. What recommendations do you have for new stylists / barbers?
For what?
In what aspects, Sarah?
I don't know. Mine's lagging, so I can't really see too much, but you can keep on going. Your internet's not that greatest.
Well, everybody's on.
Oh, I'm not even on your internet.
Yeah. I would say recommendations would be just put in the hard work. Don't be upset with your work right now. It takes time to grow in and be good.
Did she answer?
Any tips or things we should look out for as a newly licensed? Take care of your tools. Be clean and everything. Focus on consultation as well. Consultation out there is probably the biggest thing to focus on, because of the fact that with bad consultation comes bad haircuts, and sometimes the clients will write a bad Yelp review about you.
Yeah. I would second that, and I think the consultation makes a huge difference, and just learning, just keep learning, keep on getting that education, especially when you're out of school. I think a lot of people end up stopping and not doing more education, how to learn how to do longer hair or shorter hair or whatever. So we just got to know how to see both aspects of the best way. So if you're a Cosmo and a barber, you can mash those together and you can do many different things.
Yeah.
If you want to concentrate on blow dryer styles, or you want to do shorter haircuts, or again, that just all goes back with how you want to, like what shop you're in, what you have to adapt to the.
And never turn down a walk-in. Always take the client. Don't be the guy that skips on walk-ins because you want a break or whatever. Like, show your work ethic, build a strong work ethic, and keep going.
Yeah, I think that those are pretty good. That's a really good question, especially someone that's starting out and picking up the machines and being in a shop for the first time. It's the first thing that you're going to do is walk-ins. Never say no, that you're too busy. I think that's one of the hardest things, especially someone that is barely starting. That's how you're going to gain your clientele, and you want them to come back. And I think being that cookie cutter hair cutter, and when I say that, is that because in the consultation you have to know how to give them a specific haircut for their hair type and for their hair, for their head shape and all that good stuff. So all that's going to be due time.
Yeah. Consultation is huge. It's even like going back yesterday to with
I can't get on
the students that I took to the mission. It was just like they were having a hard time trying to figure out what the men wanted for their haircuts.
Yeah.
And so it was cool. It was like a teaching opportunity to help with with their consultation.
Yeah.
And so once you get a more clear idea of what they're actually looking for, it helps and it helped grow you as well.
Yeah.
As the stylist or barber, to be behind the chair, to know like maybe this terminology that they're using is pretty popular in this area. So because I know that there was a lot of times where it was like, I want to taper fade, and so you would be like, well, for me myself, I would be like, well, do you want a taper or a fade?
Someone both, or some give both.
Yeah. So it's just that consultation helps break up those two words, the taper and a fade, and figure out which side you're gonna lean more to.
Yeah.
Because they're almost the same thing in the sense, one's connected and one's not. But once you break down the verbiage that they're using, you'll get a better understanding of what it is they're actually looking for. Because sometimes they just don't, they don't really know what they're asking for. They just see something like on
Instagram,
Google, or Pinterest, or all these like other apps, and they just assume that that's what it really is. But it could be something totally different. But I think it also depends on the area that you're in, and every area has something different.
And it's also being able to dissect that haircut that's on that picture or whatever, being able to know, and then also being able to, or having the power to say no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes that haircut's not going to fit that person. And I wouldn't say that you would have to use that word no, maybe using something a little lighter, like, hey, that's not going to fit you, or that haircut's not going to fit you. whether it's going to be your hair texture, your head shape, or whatever the case may be. It's just we have to accommodate to basically to them. All right, let's see if there's anything else.
Rocky asked about tattoos.
Tattoos on.
He said, "Why do barbers have to go to school and do hours, but tattoo artists don't?"
But don't they need? But they have to take that that one test, right? With the blood pathogens. I don't know, blood.
Lecha came in and answered. And he said, "Tattoo artists do need a license, California tattoo license, body art professionals, registration of body art, and art practitioners." Which it is true. Tattoo artists do need to do some sort of like certificate.
Yeah, the bloodborne pathogens or something like that I know of. I don't know anything past that, but I mean,
as far as like training and stuff, I know one of my buddies. He's a tattoo artist out of Sacred Anchor in Anaheim. His name's Rob, and he was a couple months ago posting that there's like a school for tattooing
in Vegas.
Yeah,
and but all the real tattoo artists
they're all
protested
against it. Yeah,
but I mean, I think. I don't know. I just think that when it comes down to the tradition part of it, even I would say that tattooing and barbering have somewhat of something like a way of tying in. You know what I mean? And I think just like how before you'd have to apprentice to be a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like a tattoo artist. It's going to take them time to be behind another tattoo artist that is obviously well known, but also has had the time in. And then the apprentice will be there for another year or 2 years, depending on how long that apprenticeship is. But then just like in the same sense as us, as the SoundCloud barbers that we're calling them, is that you get guys that are just tattooing out of their backyard or their garage or whatever. So that respect value of that craft, it gets, I don't want to say dwindled down, but I mean, it just takes it away from that, and it's the same thing for barbers. Is these guys are cutting hair out of their garages, which is dope because they're obviously earning a way of living, or they're doing whatever. But for me, it's just, again, going through the route. What is that? An airplane? A car?
The car.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just the way I see it. The tradition part, in tattoo artists, you have to be an apprentice for a certain amount of time. Excuse me. And then, I mean, in barbers, you can be an apprentice too. You just do the work.
Yeah. I know that there's that dude, Jesse, from San Diego. He has a shop called Cutthroat, and he did the apprenticeship for barbering.
Yeah,
and I know it took him a little bit longer, but he did it, and I think that him doing the apprenticeship, he was able to be in the shop more, and he learned quicker than doing the school and then getting into the shop and doing the learning curve. I think it worked to his advantage. At school, he's just really good. So shout out to Jesse out in San Diego, or
no, I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, it goes. I don't know. To me, that goes just tradition part of it. I think being an apprentice, it does happen. I think it takes a longer time, and then you only go to school for the theory hours and stuff like that, and everything works well. But I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't help the situation when barbers are in a shop with no license, and and I think if you compare it to a tattoo artist, I feel like sometimes, a tattoo artist, if he fucks up your tattoo, that you're living with that forever. For us, we can fuck up your day, we can fuck up your week, but it's not going to last forever unless we cut you. I know. What do you want to say? I don't know why you have a smile on your face.
Because I was thinking about a haircut yesterday. This guy came in and at the shelter, and he came in and he had a hat on, and it looked like from the appearance of him with the hat on, it looked like he had like an undercut because you couldn't see the hair on the sides of his hat, but there was like long in the back area. And so he sits down, he takes off his hat, and dude, it's just like a straight bowl cut. And I was like, dude, you're blowing my mind. He was like, yeah. He's like, I've had to wear a hat for the past like week. So it goes into saying like, barbers can, if you give him a bad haircut, then you can ruin that dude's day, his week,
and
throws him off.
And then again, taking it back to that tattoo artist, like Rocky was asking, that shit lasts forever unless you get it covered or you get it removed, and it's a lifelong. So it's kind of comparing it to that.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
How do you feel about like other barbers talking trash about like another person's haircut?
What do you mean? As in, like in front of that client, or is that? Are you going to use it to build that person up, or are you going to use it just to degrade them?
I think I don't know. I guess it would depend on the intent of.
Yeah. So there has to be more context.
So like there was, this guy came into the barbershop. He asked me for a low fade, and then, I guess I didn't really do that good of a low fade for him, like in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to the barbershop like right after, like right down the street, and then that barber like took a picture of like my haircut, gave him a haircut, which there was really no different. Like, like he may have taken off weight a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so then he was like, you know, he talked crap about the haircut, and like back then he used to like dang, sort of.
So is the guy hating on you, or I don't get it? So
yeah, so like, because there's guys that will look at people's haircuts and just like, oh, this guy sucks, or you know, like.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't like. I think that's dumb because we're all in the same.
Industry.
In the same industry, you know. So like, there's times where I'll see. I do this a lot more so with like our old students. Like they'll post their haircuts, and then like I'll just message them privately, like, hey, you know, like.
It could have been better, or it could,
not so much it could have been better, but just like look, pay attention to detail in certain areas, or
well, that's what you're supposed to do, I think.
And so they appreciate that more rather than just like someone talking.
I just think that what ended up happening was like even when I started in the Ice Age, like you would always say, it wasn't necessarily them talking shit. It was like they would tell me like, hey, you could have did something better. And that was before Instagram. Like you would DM someone, like you said, one of the old students, and let them know that they could have done something a little better. But I used to get a lot of the older guys that were at that shop, and they would tell me like, "Hey, do this," or "How do I adapt to that that style?" Because I was doing bald fades and doing all that, and that shit was hard, dude. When I first started, and I think them teaching me the way of how they were cut, and then I can just nitpick at what I liked and what I didn't like. It made it easier. But I would never talk shit about anybody else's haircut. Yeah. I would ask them like, hey, where did you get a haircut last? And I think that's the end of that conversation. You know what I mean? And I think that I would never downgrade another barber because there's no point in it. How's that going to benefit me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a small world, so everyone's going to talk, and everybody's going to know.
The what was it? The
constructive criticism. So
yeah, constructive criticism is good. I think in every aspect of life, constructive criticism.
But it's the intent
works.
behind it.
Yeah. So it's you're being malicious about it because you want to tear the person down, like you were saying, or you're using it as a point to like help build them up.
But dude, honestly, again, even with no Instagram, being in that barbershop, there was 5 or 6 of us. And it was a shit because there was a constant competitiveness in that shop. Like I would see one cat, his name is Memo, or I would see Angel or Andy or any of these other guys. They would be cutting hair, and I would see their haircut and be like, fuck, I need to do something better than that. And if I'm going to talk shit, I'm just going to be like, yeah, that haircut was all right if you like that kind of hair. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I knew that at the end of my day, I knew that I had to do a haircut better than his. Mm-hmm. And not necessarily say it, but that's just me being very competitive. Like, I need to do better than him because I want the same work. You know what I mean? And I think that's how it was before. And I still feel like it is now, but it is just, I didn't know what the hell somebody was doing in England back then. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the hell they were doing in Australia or wherever the hell they're at, in Puerto Rico or...
We had to wait to see like magazines and stuff.
Yeah, and we'd see that, and that's and even me being, my wife and my mother-in-law used to get the Us magazines or all those the People magazines, and I would see a lot of the haircuts that would be on there, and I would be like, all right, well, that's a dope haircut, and that's just how I saw it, and that competitiveness is what made me, I would say, hungry for it, and I'm not saying I lost it, but I just don't see it too much with the Instagram because a lot of it's the same. Any other questions?
Yeah. Love Tiff _ says, what are your top 3 Instagram accounts that inspire you? Hair, non-hair related, and why?
Wait, what was it again?
What are your top 3 Instagram accounts that inspire you? Hair or non-hair related, and why?
I don't know. I just think
I gotta go Gary V.
Yeah, I know you're gonna go Gary V.
Gary V every day. There's beautiful content every day. Shout out to Gary V. You're the man.
You gotta do that.
I don't even know.
I mean, I'm more into like photography.
Yeah.
I'm more into
Yeah, like Sony Alpha. The Sony Alpha Instagram page is really cool. I like to see the different photos that they put up on there. And hair, I think hair that I follow, it's very small, but
it doesn't necessarily need to be here.
yeah, but I'm gonna throw one in there. I keep up with Leche, like I said in our interview with Leche. You know, he posts a lot of like good stuff, and he's always encouraging. So it's always good to see that someone like him is out there, you know, spreading like positivity and stuff, and encouraging people to, you know, do better. And it's cool to see that. Yeah, so there's a lot of like people that are like that I follow, and you know, 3 is a hard number to pick.
Yeah, I would say Kevin Luckman. That is right now, honestly, my favorite page to go to. All his educational stuff, and he does a lot of like different styles, you know, and longer and shorter. He can pretty much hit every demographic. Something other than it's just more like street photography and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always into like
Watching Witness is dope.
who?
No.
13th Witness.
Huh?
Timmy. Yeah, 13th Witness. I like
the
his
other
page.
One.
Watch
do like-
Witness.
Yeah, that one.
So that's Gold Watch and no, is it Gold Watch? I think
Yeah.
Gold Watch and 13th Witness. Yeah, I would say 13th Witness is one of my favorites. After that, I think, you know, all the homies like Ferns, you know,
Fern.
Daniel Winters. A lot of those guys inspire me to push me. Like I was saying, being back in the barbershop, since I'm not in one, I need something to push me. So I would say that. So like 13th Witness, and then just like the clothing companies like Born and Raised, someone like that. Like, there's a lot behind that company opposed to just
The streetwear.
Yeah, like just streetwear. There's a lot behind it. There's a lot of culture. There's a lot of tradition, like aspect of it, you know, and that goes without saying with, you know, that brand.
The Pissed Off Barber too. That's a good one to follow. That's not so much for inspiration, but it's more so for a boost of energy.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes you just gotta laugh at things.
Oh yeah,
And if you don't,
I think that's his whole point. The whole point of his thing is like don't take this so seriously. Like it's hair, you know.
And that's I think that's the funnest thing about that. A lot of these repost sites, you know, I don't really follow them. I think for me, I'm just more into like watching like Modern Salon or Behind the Chair or Hair Brain and all that. And I feel like that's going away from what I see. Like Barbershop Connect, you know, shout out to Lee. That they made barbering what it is now. Yeah. And I think, I like more of the stories that he puts up because he doesn't put too many. He puts so many different arrays of types of haircuts. So some he puts, which I like because it's the conversation. He'll put something that has a little bit of Photoshop in it, and that comment section is just boom, 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 boom. And, you know, like we were talking about marketing and stuff like that, it's like you need that engagement. You need people to talk, and you need people to do that. So
I like the repost like pages that actually like will tag, you know, the right
you have to
the right artist. But it's funny because there's like I'll be on the Explore page, and it happens a lot with Fern, our buddy Fern. He's a freaking phenomenal hair cutter.
He's all right.
You know, he's popping. You know, and so I'll go into my Explore page and I'll see his haircut or his like video going, and I'll look and it's like some like Brazilian or like Russian like repost site, and it gives credit to somebody else. Yeah, and it's not even him, and it's just like, and then I go in the comments and I'm like, dude, this is Fern the barber. Like,
you look like a dude that.
But there's a lot of people that do that before me, so it's not like, you know.
No, I get it, and that goes back into the whole remember Timmy and that conversation with that other dude.
Talk about Tim.
Shut up. You know, I just think that goes back into, I guess, the respect value of what the hair industry is, because if you don't tag it or anything like that now, people take advantage of it, you know? So I just think that it makes a big difference when the homies are on Instagram and they protect your brand. And I think that's cool, right? I mean, I don't know what's happening here. I think we're going into... It died? Your battery died?
Yeah.
And you're the one that told me to charge my battery. But yeah, I just think that makes a big difference, especially if you guys see something and you know that it's not from that person. tag them if you know that. Even if you don't know them, just put it out there, and that makes that connection with that barber.
Yeah, and it's all about the engagement. Remember, engage.
Anybody have any more questions? Because we're probably going to end up stopping this soon. Wrapping it up. So if anybody has that mullet life, my fearless mullet leader. So
Fern's mullet is gnarly. I noticed today how long the hair was.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's been, I think he said
February. Shout out to Fern too. He did a sweet mullet today. Check out his Instagram.
It was all right. I mean, if you like that kind of stuff.
Oh, dang, always hating on Fern.
Hey, that's because he's not here.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be here. He said, "Oh, I'll be there, the White Claws or whatever." And no, he ain't clawing with us right now.
He ain't clawing. Shout out to Motorola for letting us capture my son sleeping.
Yeah. So, you know what? I still trip out. What time do you go to sleep?
6:30.
6:30 till 6:30.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It works perfectly.
Yes, it does, dude. If any of you guys have kids out there and you get to be able to put them at 6 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 in the morning,
Yeah.
good job. Any more questions? We got any more questions out there? Is that it?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on live today, everybody. Great questions.
Just do us a favor though before we wrap this up. Just make sure share it. Let us know what you guys think. Go on the Apple podcast and hit those 5 stars and leave a comment. And then also we're on Spotify, so go ahead and just hit that subscribe and just let us know what you guys are thinking and any other questions you guys have throughout the month or throughout the week or days or whatever it is. Hit us up. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Let us know what's on your mind, and we'll do our best to elaborate with whatever context of words that we have, because I think we get kind of stuck on that. So thank you, Leche, for all your words. Fern, there's who else was there? Sharky, Rocky, Getting Faded Lifestyle, and then we got 210 Hair. What does that say? Hair Fix. And then I don't know. I had to jump off because your Wi-Fi was on the fritz. It was on the Snickle fritz. So
I don't know. Mine's working perfect. So
no, I don't know. But again,
anyways,
big shout out to everyone. Thank you. Peace. Should I do the peace, love, and happiness and JP style? JP style? Nah, just kidding. You want to end this?
No, you end it.
You end this. You. Did anybody have a question? Someone has a question? I can't see it. There's nothing on
It's all good though. Thank you guys.
Mucho love. Peace. I'm gonna end this too.